Good morning everyone, we're back in Bukit Mertajam for Penang Eco and the start of the 100-kilometer race this morning here at 10 a.m. We are at the Taman Pearl start and finish venue, the new start and finish venue of this event. Traditional event in ATM since 2015. The 100 miles race already started last night at 6 p.m. is going very well with Amirul Amin and Wilson Singing in the lead in the men's race. And surprisingly, Celestio is leading the women's race now ahead of Meg Sterling from Australia, based in Hong Kong, and Sally Yap. But the interesting thing is that Celestio has an advantage of 1 hour ahead of Meg Sterling. Still a long way to go, of course, in the 100 miles race, but we focus now first on the 100k. 100k also has a good field. About 100 runners signed up for this race that was postponed for 1 week due to the local elections that took place last week here in Penang, in Malaysia, of course. We have a couple of minutes before the starting line, so we're going to be moving through the field a bit. We see there in the red from Ole Athletic, Ruan Biguasen. She is one of the protagonists in the Asia Trail Master Series for women this year. She is leading the overall ranking. She has already put in 4 results. She's one of the few who has already done 4 results this year. Irish Glorioso, by the way, he also has done that. Also from Philippines, and she is running the 100 miles today. We also see Carly Baumford, based here in Malaysia, previously in Thailand. There we see one of the favorites, bending over slightly in the fluo yellow, this Siet Falim, nicknamed Alpha. She won TMBT last year. This year she has done Sierra Madre Trail in the Philippines, close to Manila, but was on the podium, but that podium was, I believe, 5th or 6th place, so probably not the result that she would have liked. But Chet Falim is now with the Sportlicious Malaysia team and is expected to do well in the remaining part of this season. So we hear she's also signed up for a TMBT again, a race she won last year ahead of Sally Yap. Sally Yap, for those who were not watching our broadcast from last night, also available on Facebook and YouTube, by the way, even on Twitter. Sally Yap is running the 100 miles today. She will also be running TMBT. I'm looking for Alexander Tilley, who is at the other side there. Alexander Tilley, winner of V-Trail in Laos. He was also in Bukit Lawang Orangutan Trail. And he also did one of the other races already. It slips my mind now which one it was, but Alex Tilley is one of the overall men's leaders in the Asia Trail Master ranking. He will be focusing on Team Asia expats for the ATM final, because he has not been living in Malaysia for more than 8 years. Still 5 minutes to go. Let's take a further walk around. There we also see from the Philippines Manilin Mamuge from Davao, together also with another runner from Davao. Let's walk. Here we have from Davao, Manilin, former winner of Mount Apo Sky Race. How are you doing, Manilin?
I'm fine.
Second race in Malaysia for you.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Nervous. Nervous.
Okay, all the best. Yeah. Manlin stepped away from trail running for a couple of years, but is back since a few months. And she also ran the Muspo race a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. And here's Alexander Tilley. Alex, how are you doing at the moment? It's been a couple of months since we last saw you.
Yeah, from Bukit Lawang. But yeah, feeling good. I did 100k in the UK and that was wet and windy. So here should be a bit warmer.
Since when are you back in Penang?
About a week, yeah.
This is your home race. Do you know the trails here?
No, actually, funnily enough, I've only really run on the island, so I don't know Bukit Mertajam much, but excited.
All the best.
Cheers.
Yeah. All right, that was Alexander Tilley, one of the favorites of today's race. We also have Jeffrey Boudin in the race. Jeffrey Boudin, the winner of UTOP Ultimate Trails of Penang last year in October. And that's the race that is alternating with Penang Eco since the end of the COVID pandemic. So this year we have Penang Eco, next year we have Ultimate Trails of Penang again in October. We're now getting ready for the start. and yet it's still 3 minutes we here now, so the runners briefing didn't take as long as expected, I guess. La Sportiva is the title sponsor of this year's Penang Eco. La Sportiva also the official trail shoe partner footwear of the Asia Trailmaster Championship Series since last year already. And the news is that La Sportiva will be coming out with some new trail shoe models in the coming months, and most likely these will be presented at the ATM final in Central Java in Solo for the Siksorogo Lawu Ultra, and that's of course the ATM final this year. That's a 77-kilometer race with almost 5,000 meters of elevation gain. Some say it is even a bit more than 5,000 elevation gain. Despite these figures, runners say that it is quite runnable. And I guess by that they mean it is more runnable than the Mount Athos Sky race last year. So we start at 10 a.m. It's a little bit of a strange starting time for a 100k race. The race director Sio Kong explained that it has to do with the cutoff time at the finish, which will be the same for all the race categories in this event. And there's 5 race categories, of which the 100 miles and the 100k are the points races for the ATM ranking. But there's also a 50k. The 50k will have Raylan James in it, for example. Raylan James, the Sabahan runner who won the Borneo Miler and will be competing in TMBT also again in 2 weeks. But is opting for the 50k today because she wants to be 100% fit for TMBT. So she's taking a bit of a different approach than some of the other runners who seem to be running every week as much as they can. Also in this race is Lim Wen Shan, and he has been the short distance specialist here in Malaysia for several years, but is now gradually moving up in distance because he also at some point in his trail running journey he wants to attend the UTMB in Chamonix. But Lim Wen Shan, definitely also a challenger for the podium, and who knows for the race win today, based on his previous results in 50k races, particularly here in Malaysia. Lim Wen Shan. And here we go for the start. And now we move to the other side of the road so we can see the runners one more time. I can already mention that obviously, just like yesterday, we will be moving to a couple of checkpoints. We see there Ruan Bigwasen taking a fast start, followed by Manilin Mamuge. So the two of the favorites for the women's victory are starting in the front of the field here this morning. The first 10.5 kilometers are fairly flat and quite a lot on asphalt before they hit the first bukit. It's essentially the same as the 100 miles last night. Here we have and we'll be heading towards CP1 and CP2 just like last night, and from there we will see how we can capture the runners more during the day. We will be updating you all day from Penang Eco. And as you know, we're also having a race in Indonesia at the moment, the Bali Ultra. Our team there is also keeping you posted about the developments in that race. We can say that on the 100k, Yuta Matsuyama and Abdul Salam are leading the 100k race over there in the men's. And Tomomi Bito is ahead of Shindy Patricia, but only by 2 minutes in the women's race. The 50k has 4 leaders, including Ahmad Nizar and Rizky Kurniawan. And in the women's 50k, I'm afraid I do not yet have the current update. That's all. And here's Norlela Ismail. Norlela, what are you doing here? Why are you not in the race?
Later at 10 p.m. Careful.
Are you doing 50k?
Yeah, I'm doing 50 km.
Are you doing TMBT in 2 weeks?
Come again?
Are you doing the TMBT in 2 weeks?
No. We are going to UTMB.
I see. Well, all the best for that.
Thank you.
That's Norlela Ismail. She's actually number 1 in the Malaysia ranking at the moment. She's had some very good results this year. She is a La Sportiva athlete in Malaysia, but you just heard she is going to Chamonix, and then of course it makes sense to save your energy for that 100 miles race in the French Alps. And that's it for this live broadcast of the start of the 100k. We'll be back with our video updates on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter during the course of the day. And when the runners approach the finish line, we go back live for the